All right, folks, we're here again. This is another episode of Garrett's From the Field Tailgate Talk podcast, if you will. Outside, going to do some relic hunting today, but with an old friend of ours, Beau Ouimette, actually known to a lot of folks as Aquachigger on the YouTube channels and all that. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about that. And also, I know that you were in the service, you ran your own business at times. So you've done a lot of things in your life before you really got into this full time with all the TV shows and all that. So with no further ado, here's Beau. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. A little chilled this morning.
Yeah?
We need to be out in the woods.
So Chig's Army, is that a throwback to your old Army days, or where'd that come about from?
Yeah, actually it's more like a fan club for my Aquachigger YouTube channel.
Yeah?
It just kind of grew on its own. Interacting with people online, through my channel, they were like, they started talking about this Chig's Army. I saw it.
Well, you got into social media and YouTube early on. You kind of became one of the big guys, if you will, in detecting, people watching all your videos and your movies, right?
Yeah, I started pretty early on YouTube, 5 years after, about 5 years or so after it started. So there weren't a ton of channels out there. And, I just started making videos. It was, in the beginning I was really just focused on, the detecting and showing the finds, but as I've matured over the years.
Are you mature now?
Well, I'm getting there.
Yeah, okay.
I hope, if you look at the color of my hair,
yeah, maybe. A little bit of gray in there.
But yeah, on my channel, I just try to make it more, not just the detecting and the finds, but the experience, because it really is about the experience. Yeah. The whole detecting thing, it's a good family-oriented hobby.
Yeah.
You can take your kids, you take your grandkids. It's a great way to really make connections with people.
Well, I think people will watch you for the personality, but they learn from you also. I mean, that's the thing about his channel and what he's doing. There's a lot to learn and just enjoy the adventure, if you will.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I try to do. I try to teach a little bit about what I know, which isn't a lot, really.
Yeah.
But, I just kind of try. But, just make it about the experience and being around your family and your friends and how it relates to history, how we can look back.
Yep.
We can look back, but that allows us to look forward too. Not only in our lives, but just with everything.
And we interviewed one of your buddies, Dan, for our little tailgate talk, and you guys have had some pretty good adventures over the years, water hunting and stuff, right?
Yeah, we've had some great adventures. We really have. We found some fantastic stuff on, in the rivers and on land, and on camping trips and covered with chiggers, we've had some experiences.
The old chigger nickname, that's a whole story in itself, how that came about.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get into that one day.
Yeah. Well, let me just say this.
Okay.
Dan is responsible for it.
Okay.
He came up with it, so, yeah.
Aquachigger, folks.
Aquachigger.
It's a long story. But on the water finds, you found a lot of stuff, overseas in England and Europe and stuff like that. They find hoards, ancient piles of coins. You found, in my opinion, one of the most famous hoards of silver in a water-related environment, right? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that was, a few years ago, but it's when, I guess, not long after the AT Pro came out.
Right.
And was searching in the river for Civil War relics, and I just came, I was looking for a ford, and I came upon a silver coin. It was like, one of those big 8 real coins. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, because I'm not a coin guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was kind of exciting. I just threw it in a bag, and then another one and another one and another one.
Big silver coins.
Yeah, we're talking like 8 real coins from like the 1700s, and they went up to like 1832.
But you're finding a mix of Spanish and American and what else? Like 4 or 5?
Yeah, it was everything we were using as a nation in 1832. Okay. I found a bunch of half dollars, but yeah, there were lots of coins from like Mexico and Bolivia, France. That was a coinage that was in circulation then. And there was over 200 coins that were dropped in this river crossing.
So like a wagon spilled, or somebody lost the payload, or what?
I just figured that someone was trying to cross that river, because it's not very deep normally, and it's a hard bottom, during a flood. And maybe the wagon got, pushed over in the flood, or the horse got, washed off his feet.
Right.
And the guy dropped his life savings, and for some reason was not able to come back and get it. Because again, it's, it's knee deep normally. in the summer times and whatnot. So for some reason he never came back. Yeah.
But you're water hunting, you're big on your Aquachigger channel and Facebook and all that kind of stuff. But it's also led to you being on TV with the water hunting show over in the UK, right?
Yeah, it was kind of neat.
Yeah.
They reached out to me, and over the course it took a couple years to get it to move forward. But
Right.
I've been done 3 seasons over there, and where we searched the rivers, below castles, and the major battlefields over there, like Braveheart battlefield, all that stuff. You know what I mean? It's just
A lot of history,
really cool.
a lot of story to each episode, right?
Oh yeah. I mean that's the point of this show that we did is to bring the history alive, which is kind of what we do.
Yeah.
It's what I try to do on my YouTube channel. Bring history alive and make it part of us. Our whole experience in life.
So you got a lot of people of all ages that watch you, including some youngsters that have come up watching Aquachigger and all that. What kind of advice do you give youngsters and people getting into it when you run into them or talk to them?
Well, first thing I say is enjoy it. Don't make it about finding as much as you can. When you're first starting out, you can make some great finds, and the newbies make some of the best finds. Like that
They don't know a good target from a bad target.
Yeah, because
right?
they
Is there a bad target?
I know exactly.
Yeah.
They're digging everything, so they make some really good finds. But I always say take your time, watch videos. Videos are a great way to learn. When I started,
You do that. I was watching one of yours this morning, and you're like, let's go through this, let's check it out. And you're walking them through it. It's a little scratchy, but you're giving them good advice,
Yeah, and you can learn by doing that very easily. And when you go out in the field, you can kind of remember a little bit of that, and that helps a lot.
Yeah.
So my advice really is take your time, make it fun, watch videos. That's how you're going to learn without actually being in the field.
And as you often told me, Steve, slow down. Going too fast.
I need to take your advice sometimes too. I'm like right behind you, you're running through the woods.
Well, look up there's you and Dan over the next hill. I'm like, I thought you said slow down.
We don't always take our own advice.
You get
know how that
excited,
is.
don't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You still get excited
Oh,
sometimes when you go to a
absolutely.
new place?
Every time.
Yeah?
Every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you just never know. You never know what you're going to get into. You never know what you're going to find. Or
Well, you found a lot of stuff. What's a couple things that are still out there that you're like, oh, I'd love to find this? Anything on the old bucket list?
I got to tell you, the only thing really that I want to find is like a big 12-pound or even 6-pound Napoleon cannon. A big bronze cannon, the kind they used during like the Civil War.
Now you've found cannonballs, artillery, a lot of stuff. Yeah. I guess you found a cannon?
No.
No?
No.
No,
That's what I
cannon
want.
at all.
Okay. I found pieces that are blown up, but I haven't found a cannon yet. And that's what I want is that bronze Napoleon.
You found some rifles and muskets and pistols and stuff.
Yeah. Lots of muskets, with the bayonet still attached. A lot of them, surprisingly, have multiple bullets still in the barrel.
Oh, wow.
Like I took a bunch down to, my wife X-rayed them for me, and they got 1 or 2 that have like 6 or 7 bullets. I mean, you can see them lined up in the barrel.
Yeah.
Because they were lost probably during battle, they wouldn't fire. And of course, the soldiers, what they do a lot of times too is they bend them around trees. So if you find one that's bent, you know that it was picked up off a battle and pitched, and have it X-rayed, man. It might be just full of bullets. It's really cool.
Very cool.
You can just imagine that guy, loading and firing. The gun's not going off. He doesn't realize it. He just fills a barrel with bullets. It's weird.
So any kind of personal favorites come to mind, or coins or relics or anything you found that you really were excited about over the years?
I got to say, probably my coin spill.
Yeah,
the 200-some coins. I mean, that was really, it was exciting, especially looking back. And, a lot of guys are really, are more coin guys than I am. But looking back, that was great.
Yeah.
But I think the thing I like to find the most are like ID badges and ID discs.
Something personal, yeah.
Yeah, because you can get the guy's name, especially for the Civil War, and they're all different kinds in the Civil War because the government didn't issue them. You had to go out and buy them. So you have like things you wear on your neck, things you pin to, and you
some
get
of those in the Civil War would have some of the battles or skirmishes they've been in.
Most of them did.
Yeah.
Most of them would have their history on it, where they're from, their names and all the battles and stuff. So that's kind of my favorite thing to find. I found a number of them, and it's you can do a lot of research with that.
Yeah.
It's good. Brings history alive.
Very cool. Well, we'll probably wrap it up here in a second. Any other words of advice, anything you want to pass on to folks? Or
I would just say enjoy it. If you're a detectorist, enjoy it. If you're not a detectorist and you're just out looking around in the woods, enjoy it. Keep your eyes open, take the blinders off. That's one of the things I always say, people walk around with blinders, whether you're metal detecting or whatever you're doing in life, and they don't look outside of what they're focused on. You focus on your machine, but focus on what's around you too. And there could be trenches in the woods. There could, some really cool things to look at over there. Flowers off in the distance that indicate a home site.
Yeah.
But if you have your blinders on and you're just looking at the screen and not really paying attention, you're going to miss so much in life.
Yeah, and part of it, I think some of you told me over the time before, is just enjoy it. And I do that. I like being outside in environment, even if it's cold like this, like my cold fingers. Look around at the beauty around you. And even if you don't find a lot, just slow down and take it easy, right?
Yeah, life is really fast.
Yeah.
Today, life is just really fast. And this is a chance to slow everything down, enjoy it, and enjoy your friendships and your kids, your grandkids, out there. It's a good, honest, clean hobby,
That it is.
So cleansing. It really is.
Well said. From the back of the Chig rig, if you will, his relic hunting vehicle extraordinaire. It's been a pleasure, Beau. Good to talk to you.
Yeah,
We'll say we go find a couple mini balls or something today. You want to get out there?
Why just a couple?
For me, maybe a couple dozen for you.
No, you can just walk around and look at the trees, okay? Enjoy the day. I'll dig some bullets, okay?
All right. Well, thanks again.
Yeah, thank
We'll see you next time, folks.